Plaintiff Tahaj Crowell claims his baby mama destroyed his shoes and clothing after going through his Facebook messages. He is suing for $1,550. Defendant Shay Johnson says she had every right to ruin his belongings after she found out he was cheating on her.
How long have you been in a relationship with Shay?
We're not even gonna do that relationship. We was never in a relationship. I'm tired. I'm tired of going through this. Like, I'm tired. She's making my life a living hell. I knew this girl for about 4 years now. She got pregnant. We had a daughter together, and we was
That sounds like a relationship.
We never made it official.
Thank you.
Never was in a relationship. We just.
Well, it may not be the relationship you want, but you have a kid with her, and
that still doesn't give her a right to.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not getting to that issue yet. I was just trying to get a little background here.
Yeah, no,
for 4 years, something's been going on.
Yeah, we had a daughter together. She got pregnant the first.
How did she get pregnant? Oh, man.
Doing grown people stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So you had something to do with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It was never official. She contacted me in text, letting me know that her and my daughter was kicked out of the house. Kicked out. Her dad wasn't letting her in the house.
Your dad kicked you out?
Yes, from my house. Me and my dad got into an argument.
Oh, wow.
So my father instincts is like, all right, you kicked out the house with my daughter, I'm gonna let you stay in my home for the night. Okay, everything's cool, calm, collective. I told her I'm not gonna be home until later on in the night. Now I'm out doing what I gotta do. She's texting me back to back, texting me. We need to talk. Get home, Tahaj, Malik, we need to talk. Now, it's usually when a female that you have history with contacts you like, yo, we need to talk, in trouble, right? Exactly. I come home that night, peek in my room just to see if she's up because I know it's gonna be a problem. Peek in the room, she's up. I walk to the back to my brother's room just to like try to give her time to like fall asleep. I'm getting no caller ID. Well, I have her number, no caller ID. She's texting me back to back. I'm about to destroy your room.
You guys are texting each other and you're in the same house?
Because I know how she can get. Boom, now I'm getting...
Yeah, but you're a caring guy, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
100%.
So if you're a caring guy and the mother of your child got kicked out of their place, so she needed a place to stay, and you were nice to say, okay, come on over and stay, wouldn't the first thing you do when you got home is talk to her? Hey, what happened? Are you okay? Is our child okay? What can I do? I mean, I'm not saying you have to marry her. I'm saying, why wouldn't that be your reaction?
Because the text that I was getting from her, she let me know that I'm in trouble.
Oh.
Like, she went through my stuff.
I caught him cheating. I noticed his Facebook still was logged in. So I'm like, let me go on his Facebook. Okay. So I go on his Facebook and I start going through stuff and I find messages.
Why would you go through my Facebook?
Because if we're still dealing with each other, why are you talking to other females trying to play me?
What do you mean?
Don't do stuff like that. Don't do foul stuff. Don't do foul stuff and you don't expect nothing to be done back to you.
All right, so
I'm Queen Petty. I do that.
It was okay to destroy my stuff?
You guys weren't living together?
No.
All right, so what if you're not living together and you have a child together, but you're not living together, why would it be your concern who he's talking to on the phone or texting?
Because for the past 4 years, we still been having intercourse off and on.
Why are you suing her?
I'm suing her because she destroyed all of my belongings that night.
I sure did.
I'm talking about my Yeezys that cost $600.
I sure did.
Cut them up. My shirt that I made for my daughter, World's Greatest Dad.
Yeah.
She cut our faces out of it. And then I look on my bed, I see my Valentino belt cut 3 times.
I brought that belt with my money.
No, she did.
I brought that Valentino belt with my money.
Like
I have receipts.
I'm just like, how could you do that? I'm gonna calm down because that's materialistic.
Yeah.
I try to calm myself down, right? Sit down. I'm like, let me play my Xbox. Let me turn my TV on. You try to get my mind right. You know how that is, Najee. You wanna play a game, bro, to calm yourself down.
Oh, man.
I try to turn on my TV, everything is fine.
Yeah.
Just pour water on top of my Xbox.
Yep.
I turn on my Xbox.
Oh, well.
I'm like, yo, you could have started a fire. I'm not about to do that. And you know how much that is.
I can't imagine getting through a day without your Xbox.
I was hurt, Jerry. I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt, Jerry.
It's not worth my feelings being hurt and my heart broken.
Matter of fact, I have a video. Can I play the video?
Yeah, I'd like to see the video.
My new Valentino, like, nobody don't do nothing for me, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And I take care of my daughter. I guess she couldn't do none of the
Yeezys
but
right
my
there. You see how you cut the
though,
Yeezys
my
in half?
Yeezys.
My Nikes.
Like,
How you do that? How you do that, Shay?
bro? I'm humble as hell, bro. Like, nobody don't do nothing for me. You gonna do this to my shirt? Like,
That's my
come on,
daughter's
bro.
face, chopped.
Shirt I made just for me and my daughter. Like, this was a gift, bro. Like, you gonna cut up me and my daughter's face, bro? That's spiteful.
Prior to that, he bust my windows out of my car with our daughter in it, and he broke my phone before.
Bro, what? I did that by mistake, and I paid for it.
And then broke it
Got
again.
it fixed.
And he broke it again because he said,
Nah.
I pay half for your phone, so I'm breaking
She's
the
capping.
half.
I leave them in there. After I told my grandmother, like, Grandma, can you talk to her? She's arguing with me.
He was cheating.
Can you talk to her for me? My grandmother goes to the room. Shay, what's going on? She tells my grandmother, he's cheating. I just went through his life. He's doing this, he's doing that. My grandmother, she's 75 years old. She's like, okay, Shay, I already know what y'all got going on.
Oh, what's the business about at 75? That's young.
Yeah, I'm just saying, she's
an older lady.
It's drama. She has to stay away from the drama. You feel what I'm saying?
What did the messages say?
It was one female. He was like, copy mama. So she was like, I'm happy I spent the night with you. Wishing I still was laying next to you. He was like, me too.
Oh, so that message wasn't to you?
No, I was to another female.
Wait, so you are texting another female and back and forth and talking about, gee, I wish you were still
It wasn't
laying
one
next to me.
female. It was
swear.
several females.
Several. On the one hand, 4 years together, as you say, off and on, having sex recently.
Yes.
How recent?
We had sex last Sunday.
3 days ago. You're in a relationship. Okay. So it's still. On the other hand, you're not living with him.
No.
You love him.
I do, a lot.
Yeah. You would get angry, but you can't be surprised. You're not living together. He acts like he does. You kind of know that he's playing. He's a player.
Exactly, and
And
that's
that
where all
makes
the
you
anger came from, because I'm not a toy you play with. I have feelings as a human being, so
Jerry,
you don't play with nobody else's feelings.
I get it, but do you still stay with him knowing he's like that? I mean, the option is to say, I don't need this. This is disrespecting me. You're not the only one who's ever going to love me, and it's time maybe to move on. I mean, if I were your best friend, I'd say to you, honey, this is crazy. You know, nice guy, funny guy, I can see what would be attractive to a young woman.
How do you expect me to be in a relationship with a woman who actually just does everything out of spite, uses our daughter as a pawn, come to my home to try to fight my family, cut up all of my clothes, be unappreciative after I give you money for your car, hair done, everything. How do you expect me to be with somebody like that?
I expect to be with somebody who keep messing with several girls,
So
several girls.
why don't you feel what I'm saying? I gave you that opportunity plenty of times. What do? You come to my house, you try to come to my house and use my daughter as a pawn.
No, I don't.
Do you or do not? You came to my house and went through my stuff.
When you tell her that you love her, just think about some guy one day dating your daughter. And imagine if he's behaving like you. You're going to want to beat the guy to a pulp.
You're right, but that's not the case, Jerry.
Oh, I
She
know,
does the
but
same
you can
thing.
understand why she's hurt. Shay, you have lots of reasons to be angry. Your response can be, I'm leaving him. I don't need to be disrespected by him. This is not how I want my daughter to be raised, to know that guys treat women like this.
Absolutely right.
Because you're angry and you have every reason to be angry, that doesn't give you the right to destroy his property. Do you want to be with her?
I can't be with somebody like that. I can't.
Well,
I can't.
You can, but it's your decision. Do
No.
you want, just like she can make a decision?
No.
You don't want to be with her?
No.
Okay.
I never knew my pops.
She loves you, but the price of that is that you can't be sleeping with other women. That's the price. If you're not willing to give up sleeping with other women, then she has every right to be angry. And she has every right just to be a hassle.
Absolutely
Thank
right.
Okay,
you.
what you don't have a right, though, is destroying his property. And since that's what the lawsuit is about, how much is the value of the property that you destroyed, which you don't have a right to destroy? I fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $1,550.
I feel great. I'm happy everything happened how it was supposed to happen.
I took my time and energy to cut the Yeezys right down the middle with his own work scissors and pour water in his Xbox. I don't care.
Plaintiff Rosemarie Mastroianni claims her former roommate stole from her, mismanaged their money, and caused damage to their shared home. She is suing for $2,500. Defendant Denise Parizo claims she did pay her part and says she owes nothing.
As I understand it, this isn't the first time you guys have moved in together.
I met Denise when I started school. She was the financial aid officer.
She was I was a teacher
student.
also too, and she was one of my students.
And then years later, I was looking for a job, and she looked out for me, and I started working. So we worked together.
Right.
We
Go
lived
ahead.
previous at my first home.
Yeah.
When I got divorced, she needed a place. I needed help. So she moved in. Life happened.
Sure.
I lost my job. I was diagnosed with cancer. She lost her job.
Oh,
Just
I'm
lots
sorry.
of stuff going on. I had to find a new place. And I said to her, if you're going to help me.
So who lives in that house?
My kids and I live upstairs, and she rented the space downstairs, separate living quarters completely. She said she would help me with startup costs, and she never did. And on move-in day, she moved right in.
When you say startup costs, what is that?
Security, deposit, first month.
You would split that. How much was the first month's rent?
Rent was $1,500.
Okay. All right. So you wanted from her the first half.
Right.
I mean,
whole
half of the first month's rent.
Well, I
half
wanted
of the security deposit.
Right.
And what did she pay?
of the startup cost.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. What about that?
I paid first month's rent.
Ooh.
That was the way the lease read was first month security and last month's rent. $1,500 for the first month, $1,500 for the last month, and $1,500 for the security. I paid first month, my first
Mean
month.
your half?
My half of the first month. I paid my half of the
Who'd
second
you
month.
pay it to?
Her. I gave it to Miss Mastroianni.
Do we have any proof of that?
No, unfortunately, my proof was she took all the receipts except the last month's rent. That one I had, and I could not find my receipt. I looked everywhere for it.
I'm not denying that she did not pay rent. That's not the issue. The issue is she promised to help me pay my parents back, and she didn't.
What you're suing her for is you want her to pay her half of the first month's rent and her half of the security deposit. That's what you're suing her for. And you're saying, because she didn't pay that, and you're saying that specific thing.
I did.
You
And
did.
I did not pay security. I will absolutely agree with that one. But I did pay the first month. What she did with the money that I gave to her.
What money did you give to her?
The $750. That was the first month's rent. And half of $1,500 is $750. We had agreed also when we moved into there was that Rose and I would pay half of the rent, and with her, and then her kids, because they're older and they were both working, they were paying also to live in the home. That part would go towards the bills in the house, the heat, the electricity, cable.
I set up direct deposit so that we could have a bank account for the house. She never paid the bills from April till I found out in September.
And then I paid the bills.
And then she just plopped $1,600 on the table.
Okay,
but-
but you're not suing for the bills.
No, I'm not,
So-
but I'm just trying to explain to you that she stole from me and my kids and still didn't pay me back my $2,250. She was taking my $1,200 from my kids and I, putting $300 in, paying the rent. I'm not going to deny that, but there were the agreement we had for the bills.
I put $300 in, I put $800 in.
Well, where's the other $5 at the end of every month? There was not. Where did that money go? We were negative when I found all of this out.
We weren't negative.
We were negative
with-
34 and change. Based on my calculations, if it was being done the way we sat and talked about it, there'd be like $300 in there. There was nothing.
I understand that she wants her half of the thing, but the way the lease read was first, last, and security. I paid my first month rent. I gave her two
And
money
you
orders.
have no proof of that.
When she took whatever paperwork that was downstairs, the proof was in that paperwork.
But you admit you didn't pay the security deposit.
I meant I did not pay security. Absolutely did not pay security. And when we came to the end of it, when she said, well, you owe me this, and I'm like, if I give you security, I have to go back to your landlord and say, because now I'm no longer living here, you owe me half of that security deposit back. Because that's the way it would read.
Yeah, well,
And I didn't feel it was my right to do that because I never paid security deposit. So I never
The
went after.
agreement was that you had the responsibility to pay bills, right?
Yes, but unfortunately with COVID hitting and stuff like that, the bills, my main concern when we got to that point was making sure the rent was paid, because I didn't want to be in the situation that we were in prior, where we had to like scramble to find a place to live. Excuse me.
Were you without a place to live? No, Denise, I would have never left you in the street.
I understand
But if
that
all
part
that
of it, but
on
at
the
one
first
point,
address
we were
bothered you that much, why did you ask to move in with me to the second address? And now I have holes downstairs. I have big giant holes from when you moved in that I have to fix. So that comes out of a security deposit you never paid me, and it's gonna come out of what I've given him.
What are the holes from?
furniture.
Her moving her furniture in that didn't fit.
Yeah.
They tried to force it. So
The way the
those are
house is set up, it's a very old-fashioned home, smaller doors and stuff like that.
Your half of the first month would have been how much? Again?
$750.
$750.
Okay, your half of the security deposit was $750.
Correct.
And your half of the first month's rent would have been
$750.
$750. So altogether, that would be $1,500.
Correct.
And you're suing for $2,500.
25, I gotta fix those walls.
I hear both of you, and I've got to figure out on the first month's rent. On the security deposit, I believe you have to pay that.
What about the walls? I
And-
gotta repair those walls. It's gonna be
I understand that's
sheetrock.
You're not suing for that. You're suing for the first month's rent and the security deposit. So
Correct.
based on what you're suing for, the items you're suing for, $1,500. I fine for the plaintiff $1,500.
I think he was fair. I mean, I do believe that I should have paid the $750 in the security deposit. For the first month's rent, I did pay it, but unfortunately, I don't have proof of that. So it was his decision was fair.
The biggest lesson I learned is to be totally communicative, and no matter whether or not you hurt the other person's feelings or not, you can't be responsible for everybody.